McDad's good to go. Now just waiting on cookies. Here going to this stage. As far as the result of last game, don't expect anything to be reacted from it. It looks like the Wild Soul Keeper of the Forest coming out from Pencils. Parasite Moon Queen from Absolute Legends. So, again, Pencils blind banning Wild Soul Keeper. We do see several Legion teams doing this. You always kind of scratch your head a little bit at it, but taking out both of those. They are going to first lock Ophelia, however. Obviously, she had an interesting impact last game, to say the least, but a very effective one nonetheless, especially early on. So, we'll see if Pencils maybe takes advantage of that this time around.
Yeah, I actually feel like I always see Pencils blind banning that Wild Soul Keeper of the Forest whenever they're Legion. I feel like it holds them back a little bit. They do have a different flavor for their team, as we discussed before, but I mean, these are both very, very strong picks that I never see them try to utilize. And I just don't know about that. It's like other teams don't have to be afraid of those. It's more that not even that whether they're not using those heroes. I feel like other teams aren't afraid of those heroes when they're playing against Pencil. So, the mind game changes.
Yeah, it does. But again, especially as a result of last game, too, you got to figure, again, that Ophelia is really the intriguing one for me here for Pencils. And with that said, I wonder if AL is going to lock up something like that Glacius now, as we do see it a lot of the times in response. To an Ophelia, possibly, being first picked out of that lock pool. So going to be thinking about this last one, as they did go with Fate Tempest first, then Pebbles Empath to follow things up. But again, gonna at least put some thought here into this last lock. So
Yeah, Glacius definitely would be a good draft if they can grab it, especially against well, we don't know if they're going to run an aggressive Ophelia again, but a Glacius against an offensive Ophelia pretty much almost always forces her back into her own woods. So
you can lock her down. It is going to be Wretched Hag, though, to finish things off. And now on the banning stage, speaking of Glacius, again, it would even get a little more information out of Pencils, especially. If they ban Glacius here, then you can honestly really think that that's what they're going to be going for. So Jerizai, though, going to be the first ban coming out. So we'll be moving along here into that banning phase. Plague Rudder. You know what we didn't see last game, and it seems like it's been a while since we've seen, is that Monkey King from Cookies, man. I mean, this guy made this hero just a powerful, powerful hero in the competitive scene, and really threatening. I still assume he plays it very well, so I kind of wonder.
Yeah, I just haven't seen them picking it up even when it hasn't been banned lately. I think, I don't know. I'd expect a pandemonium these days before I would the Monkey King for some reason, so...
Yeah,
we'll see. Engineer's still not banned out. That's sort of usually the flavor of choice here for Pencils as well. Silhouette also maintaining high priority, seeing that Draconis and Moon Queen taken out. So
we do see the Engineer, speaking of that, so that's going to be their final ban for Pencils. And now Absolute Legends going to go with their final ban over here. So we'll see who they decide to take. You mentioned the Silhouette as well, but with that Moon Queen Draconis ban, maybe want to keep that over for themselves. But yeah, that Pandemonium, you're right, AL's definitely ran that lately too. And Cookies has definitely played that very well. Cookies is just all around just a great, great player, of course. So we'll see what they decide. Down to 30 seconds already of extra time used, so definitely thinking about this banning phase, or maybe just going AFK. But Silhouette is the final one.
Pretty smart ban there.
Yeah. Taking out the carry options, at least the solid carry options initially. Still plenty left over. Now, again, Feral is going to be interesting. Feral, the snap first picked, really, coming out here from Pencils.
I mean, definitely fits Pencil's style. I see them rock that Feral a lot. As a first pick, I don't know. There's still a hero I like to see sometimes against Feral is that Rally.
Yeah. Something else to keep in mind, again, I'm still looking at that Glacius, who is still left there on the board throughout all these stages. Especially with Ophelia. Again, very likely could be first picked here. You know, even more so now, in my opinion, too, with Pencils, Feral is not only great for ganking and aggressive play, but great against a Tempest. And so maybe that's them assuming that they're going to play against a Tempest here in Absolute Legends. So, anyways, kind of just thinking ahead there, as you really have to do with the lock pool in general, of course. Down to 20 seconds, though. It's going to be Torture Master of Arms coming out.
Yeah, I was going to say, I really don't see AL rocking the Glacius much as a team. They usually like, I guess, more impact supports, I should say.
True.
Now that they picked up that Master, you know what that opens the door for again? That lane that we saw just last week, the Master of Arms Panda.
It does.
And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but...
And it does, kind of another perspective, too. It stresses that Ophelia pick even more for Pencils, because if they don't take it, then could definitely see AL taking it themselves once again, and on top of having Ophelia, they would have that combination, obviously. So,
The other thing is Fade and Pebbles do exist though, so unless they're going for like the Hag and the Jungler, I mean,
true.
yeah, they very much could though. I mean, they could just pick it up here. Torture and Master are both interesting in that they both are versatile heroes as well.
Yeah.
They can both be played in that carry or support role. So
very true. Yeah, the diversity is most certainly there. Look at that though. Chipper picked up, and this is a resemblance of One Trick Pony a little bit. Not gonna lie. You got a Luna, Chipper, and Pharaoh so far coming out. You pick up something like that Fate, especially in that lock pool, then you have the makings of a great map control lineup. Is what we
and you
saw
don't
from
really have to fear the Ophelia Tempest both being drafted, so they might opt to just go for that Fade first pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go for the bubbles. It's fine. Okay. You're gonna see a Master carry this game. Then I would say actually Cookies is known to play the Torque. Yeah, now I'm not sure though because we see Mookie's play the Master support a lot. And we've seen, Cookies do some Torque carries, so
they are going to go Ophelia. Yeah, it's definitely with that Fade pickup could have seen as well, but just giving them, if you are going to be running that very aggressive, catching you off guard lineup, the last thing you want is for them to have Master of Arms and Ophelia, because again, you keep going back to that combination.
Yeah, well,
how that counters it to an extent. So.
Right, and Pebbles by no means bad either, establishing map presence, especially with that Chipper. So. Yeah, I do like the Ophelia draft more so there. Once again, stopping that combination. Pencils, I mean, funny to see them pick up Ophelia this game, but not last game when they had that Master, and it would have been overall more beneficial for their lineup.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, good job.
It is interesting. It is. Nonetheless, though, they have it this time around, and the makings of a very aggressive lineup. Hell, honestly, both teams do when you really look at it. So, once again, expecting a pretty awesome game number 2 to happen here between Absolute Legends and Pencils, what is, of course, the round of 16 here. You notice something off the bat?
No, we see definitely Torture being played in that carry role by Plato. Micey playing the support Master. Nothing too much else crazy to note here.
Oh, wow. Look at this Torture skin, by the way. Holy crap. I've never seen
this. I've heard about it. I've also heard it's going to be renovated because there's a lot of complaints about it, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I heard some discussion going on about it, but holy, that looks badass.
Yeah, kind of weird. I'm not even sure what I'm looking at.
I know. What is it supposed to be? It's like fire and ice, I guess?
What's wrong with his arms?
Get those checked out, buddy.
I don't know. Anyway.
Like.
So,
anywho.
Yeah. Also, another thing to note, they do have that Tempest counter in Pharaoh. They picked it up early. Probably another thing to point out that they were probably going for that Ophelia. They could have even gotten an Andro support if they wanted, but obviously, yeah, they got that Pharaoh knowing they wanted that Ophelia right from the bat in that drafting phase.
Yep, and we do see Ophelia pseudo tri lane going aggressive. It looks like just like AL did last game, and Ophelia is definitely that jungling hero that you can most certainly do it with. So this time around, Pencils is going to try to take advantage of that, and you see how things are setting up. It looks like they are going to be against the Torture, and I mean, what is your take? Does that kind of again? The last game it was this kind of pseudo tri lane against a Master of Arms. Is Torture kind of that same presence of he's not the greatest escape artist, so.
Oh yeah, I mean he's definitely no better off than really Master in this situation here.
Yeah.
If there's anything, I mean, they still have the Tempest, as we talked. They scouted it out early. Miesti got that ward down before Pencils did, so they do know that's up there. Maybe Master with the direct point stun as well can sort of adapt and gank with Tempest a little bit easier than an Engineer can. So maybe they can set something up defensively here.
Yeah, so we'll see if Ophelia, gets an appropriate minion, something like that Catman Champion or Skeleton King or Minotaur, of course, and then looks to set up a gank as a result of it. Apparently the derp coming out from Ice-T, not sure what that's about, but apparently did something kind of silly. It is Chipper versus a Master of Arms Fade, though, in the middle lanes, and
this Fine's got to be careful here, man. He's doing the Cyclone. Oh, unfortunate Wild Hunter spawn, and Tempest should be able to scout him out. Maybe jack some creep kills here. We'll have to see. The other important thing to note is because Miesti got that ward down, Torture pretty much knows when Ophelia is coming in for that gank, which will allow him to play a lot more intelligently as far as positioning is concerned compared to the Master from last game.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and you do see right now, Torture kind of just hugging that tower. He knows that as tempting as it can be to go in there for some creep kills, he knows that he just can't. The Wild Hunter is going to be picked off by Tempest right there. Yeah, it seemed like Ophelia actually could have gotten that. And he gets the Vulture Lord.
Yeah, that was a little bit sloppy there by Fine. He definitely could have turned around. There was no threat. I mean, it was just a, Tempest. But
Master of Arms was running up there, but yeah, I still think, I mean, if anything, he has his own support. Yeah. To back him up. So yeah, it definitely seemed like he could have done a little bit better there. I mean, Fine is a great jungler, but yeah, that was a misplay, definitely. Coming out. Gonna try to, he's just gonna put in the Wild Hunter here. Gets another Vulture Lord, by the way, and gonna try to protect that 2-minute rune. It will spawn bottom though. Nobody down there just yet. It is a regen rune. We'll see if this Fade or Chipper perhaps makes it down there. But yeah, Chipper being played by Relo. Don't expect him to have the best time, at least get levels, but staying alive could be difficult against this Fade Master of Arms combination.
That's a shame that Reelo doesn't have the bottle there, that it's come out in the Monkey, because if he was able to get that roll, he might still get it anyway. I was going to say Regen Rune will be very, very beneficial for him sniping creep kills with rockets and such in middle as well if he wants to. So actually,
Chipper might get it. He's going down there. He just got his bottle, so yeah, Reelo going to be picking it up here.
I'm not really sure why the support from mid lane didn't go grab it on the other side, but free rune for Chipper here.
Yep, that'll be picked up for him, and Regen Rune. And actually going bottom, there is no vision here for Bubbles. We'll see if Present 23 is in trouble. He doesn't have take cover. Big thing to note as well, and here we go. Pharaoh going to jump in right here. No, not going to Mummy Wall because he doesn't have it, actually. The Tar comes out. The Rockets will connect right there. In comes a dive from Pharaoh. Tormented Soul is up. There he's going to use it, but still not enough for the kill. The Rocket, nope, not going to hit. And again, didn't have a take cover, but the no Mummy Walls. Not that it really would have mattered, of course, being against Bubbles, but still. Bubbles can be difficult to kill, as we saw right there.
He might have been able to man up and chase there. He does have boots, 360 move speed against Bubbles, and Bubbles was still having a little bit of that. So, I mean, there's a chance he could have caught up there if he kept going, but definitely wanting to play it safe.
Yeah, top lane, though. Fine will fall right there. The Goo doing so much. The Stalagmite's barely missing Torturer as he gets the kill. You see the Catman champion controlled by Ophelia actually trying to block a little bit. Master of Arms will be turned on. And now Tempest taking some damage actually from the minion. The support, though, turned the other way. If Aluna kept going, they could have very likely taken out Tempest. You see a Tormented Soul coming in, but it's just not close enough. And Tempest still on the run. I believe we'll be fine unless Farrell somehow gets a snipe off here. But if anything, that will be spotted. So Tempest should be fine in the end. So yeah, an exchange there at the top lane, but Ophelia does die for the Legion side. 1-1 now.
Yeah. We saw right there that early scouting. Actually, they're going up on Torture right here. It should be a... Oh my God, Plato with the sidestep.
Sidestep. That was big sidestep right there indeed from Torture. Damn. Avoiding that Stalagmites. I'm guessing the Aluna stun hit first, right?
Yeah, it did. And it was sort of set up, but just... the way the stone was positioned, he was able to step left and just, he maybe aimed it a little bit behind him. Instead, he stepped forward and, got it. I think he could have just targeted directly on the hero and it should have covered it. But, a little bit of prediction there and didn't really work out.
Well played by King Plato. Again, he's only level 2, minimal farm, but hey, he's staying alive. And he has the Bloodlust kill, which actually came out in favor of the Hellborn team. So, King Plato definitely doing enough to say the least here for Absolute Legends. As Cookies, in the meantime, he is up there on that goal per minute chart. Not topping it, actually that does belong to Pebbles. Here at this toss. Meanwhile, back to the middle lane. Actually, Chipper's going to be gone. He does have a haste room bottled up. He's going to use it at the last second. It's not going to be enough, though. Meisty able to finish off with a final auto attack. And down he goes. So yeah, the lockdown just too much. He had that haste room bottled, wanting to use it, I'm sure, for the longest time, but couldn't get it off in time. So.
Yeah, at this point, I'd like to see Master rotate towards top. Tort is, he should be able to hit level 3 soon. You got a level 3 Master and a level 5 Tempest. I think they can actually sort of man up here, with the Tempest, with the Tort, with the Master, and sort of force them back. Give Torture a little bit more control now, because Faye will be just fine against this Chipper.
How about Fine's Farm, man? I mean, Fine's Farm here on Ophelia isn't the best. They are going to try for another tower dive right here. Here comes a Minotaur. Torture coming in. The Impalement's going to be activated. Stalagmites will barely hit. The Minotaur stun is going to be used, and the power throw on top of that. Bassett's actually getting credit for the kill right there. You do see Ophelia, by the way. She actually levels up that Ophelia's Judgment. Also going level 2 of it first, by the way. So, but yeah, they get the kill. But again, so just before that, obviously I'm mentioning how Ophelia's Farm isn't necessarily the best. At least assisting in the kill right there, though. However, going to need to fall back as there is support coming in for Torture. And they will push them, but...
Yeah, just that rotation happening 5 seconds sooner would have definitely changed the outcome of that fight. You saw right there, Master was making his way up top. They sort of had the same idea, like, okay, mid's fine now. We can just simply apply the pressure top. We got the levels on Tempest. Let's drive him back. But, Pencils found their window and just went before I guess he came. That's really sort of a shame.
Yeah.
For Absolute Legends.
Yeah. Oh, Relo right here. Too bad he's not level 6. This definitely would have been a free kill on a Fade. He got jumped himself by Fade out of the Invis and was able to barely survive it. Used his Invis rune and the bottle charges, of course. And I was thinking about turning it around, but without the ultimate, figured it wouldn't have been enough. So Cookie's falling back though, and Cookies is having great farm himself. Obviously hitting level 6 right there. Again, he's up there with Pebbles as the top farm of the game right now. But yeah, still look back at this Ophelia and how her farm is struggling. She's only level 3, only 152 gold per minute, so sure, setting up for the assist, but definitely may want to think about starting to focus on some levels and farm if anything. And she actually is back in her own jungle, so very possibly that's going to be Fine's priority now here on Ophelia. So. But Pebbles, 740 gold saved up on top of the Steam Boots he's already picked up. Again, his farm pretty solid, and he has actually transitioned to the bottom lane, by the way, as Pharaoh's kind of taken over as a suicide. So Pencil's kind of doing all-around switch here as far as their lane setups go. Yeah,
definitely very true. The lane is pushing towards Bubbles right now. Bubbles should be careful here. Bubbles does have the ulti, 1 TP in, combined with that ulti, man, and that's... Oh! I don't... Ulti?
Nope. There we go, finally coming out. No shell surf. Oh, the power throw just barely dodged right there. He will get the shell surf off, and Bubbles gets the turn kill. You saw it coming for a while. It took a little bit longer than expected, but President 23 gets the kill. Again, great dodge. I don't even know if that was on purpose, but happened to avoid the power throw, which very likely would have killed him. As middle lane, Fade will take out Relo, and then adding insult to injury, this top tower also going to be pushed in by AL. So,
Pebbles is reviving, though, right now. Rocket is coming to, force the counter push as well. So, I don't think they'll press the matter too much here up top.
Yeah. Torture's only level 4 as well, obviously. So,
no. Pebbles did TP back bottom here. Bubbles joining him as well. They're shaping up down here, though.
Yeah, Pebbles really trying to put priority, of course, of getting that portal key. Here we go, though. Bubbles is in a little bit of trouble. Still, Agamon's coming out. Bubbles not able to avoid it. There goes the combination. He has to take cover. Still not using it just yet. One more auto attack. Can they get close enough? The bottle charges from Bubbles, and Bubbles again will survive right there. The Steam Boost just keeping him alive, and he gets a counter ward off in the meantime on this Bassett's ward of sight, which he's actually just taunting a little bit, finally finishing off right there. Again, great save by Sweet Pro.
Yeah, I feel like the Luna Sun came out way too early. It came out, like, I felt like 1 second into the Pebbles stalagmites. Like, he would have been fine to get up there, toss, get a couple auto attacks in, and then stun at the end of all that and get another volley in, I thought. But, maybe not. Either way, Bubbles does survive, so...
Yep, and again, the Golden Experience lead especially, 2,100 experience it already in favor of Absolute Legends, so... Again, things just seem to be shaping up a little bit better for them. Middle lane, once again, Relo in some trouble. Here comes Bubbles, level 8. Now, Ophelia will spot him coming over and actually will quickly get him to turn around. Fade, though, Invis double damage rune up as well. Obviously on top of the reflection, so need to be really careful about that. Just getting his Ghost Marchers delivered. He has reflection up for 5 more seconds, but it doesn't look like he's going to find anyone. As, of course, Pencil's playing very, very passive, realizing that he went Invis right there, so... Not going to find anybody. And yeah, I mean, Chipper doesn't seem like he's been having the greatest game either, albeit, obviously the lane. Pretty tough for him.
I actually really like Pencil's capacity. Oh, meanwhile, Chipper's getting jumped in middle here by the Master and the Fade. There's no way he's getting out of this.
Yeah.
Damn. I was going to say, I do really actually like, Pencil's lineup here for that early mid push. If Pebbles is able to get his portal key in short time here, pushing right away with Ophelia at that point, Pebbles can pretty much torture going. Yeah.
Oh. Pharaoh diving big time. A lot of ports coming in, though. Tempest coming in. But no, Pharaoh going the other direction, and I guess he just wasn't spotted going up here. And actually, Wilhelm coming some away. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, they finally kill Pebbles, who's been so difficult to kill throughout this game. Pebbles and a Luna combo for the kill. So, again, Pebbles is getting fairly close to that portal key now. 1950 gold saved up. So it looks like he's just prioritizing that right after the Steam Boots. And he should have it in a matter of seconds now. So, as always, big pickup. And that's what we'll see if Pencil's kind of turn it on here.
Right, and overall pretty squishy team on Hellborn. He should be able to have, quite some fun here with that PK, with the Yeah, the Pebbles combo, you should be able to pretty much insta-kill a lot of these heroes. A little bit of extra attrition coming in from the Chipper Rockets if he needs it.
Oh, great job from Chipper right there. He barely got the ultimate off in time to turn it around on the Fate at least as he was dying. Master of Arms will barely survive as the top tower actually going down. Pharaoh up there, but not able to deny it, unfortunately. So Bubbles now jumping in, though, not going to kill Fizz, however, or anything. The Ophelia heal came off from Fine right there to initially save Chipper, which, again, helped keep him alive and at least set up the turnaround. But still, Chipper continuing to really have a difficult time. Honestly, Rila, again, last game, it just seems like he's being set up in these shitty situations, to be honest. But he hasn't had the greatest series, honestly, when it comes to at least hero kills. And
yeah,
stats, so.
he does have his level 4 rockets at least, though. Pebbles PK is picked up. This is a time where they can sort of, press their game a little bit more, maybe go push with Ophelia, look for an angle to pick one off with Pebbles. If they get that jump off, force the Hellborn, and make sure that they kill the guy that they're jumping before he's able to get any spells off. They're going to be fighting that 5v4 with the Ophelia heal, with the follow-up from Pharaoh Hook. That could very much prove in their favor here. So yep. I would like to see them try to press it very soon.
Well, he has the power supply being finished, the portal key actually being delivered to him right here. And it will be a surprise factor. I mean, you could figure the AO maybe figures he might have it coming up, but he hasn't shown it definitely just yet. We'll need to hear very quickly. In comes the courier because Bubbles is initiating on Luna. Will he get it in time? He's going to maybe try to assist. Poise coming in, missing the call, but it doesn't matter. There goes the portal key from Pebbles, though. And the defensive master's call, but it won't matter. Reload with the rocket to finish him off. Fade, it looks like, will be fine. Has he avoids the rocket? No, but Pharaoh jumps in, actually. Hellfire coming out, setting up beautiful rockets, I'm sure. Where's Chipper? There he is. That shot coming out. One more rocket, maybe. Can he actually sidestep this? In comes Tempest. Tempest ultimate, no, not going to be used right there. Not just hit. There's a Tempest ultimate, and they're going to lock them down. Pebbles being pulled in, so is Chipper, and both of them fall. Cookies with the double tap right there. Excellent turnaround for Absolute Legends, and that's just team support coming into play.
Yeah, sort of a counter gank from each side. Yeah, beautiful Tempest ulti in the end. After you go with the tablet this game, in light of the Pharaoh as well, I gotta say I agree with it. I'm sure he'll just go for that more tanky route, building up the Astrolabe, his boot choice of type, etc. So definitely the smart thing to do when you're faced against a Pharaoh. Also a little bit extra heal in combination with the Master of Arms, so if he does go that Astro.
Fade once again going the Codex route here. Obviously, Cookies played the last game, going the same build in that sense. So getting the level 1 Codex. We'll see this time around if he maybe levels it up still, or if he perhaps goes for that portal key sooner than later. Torturer picking up a double damage rune just before Aluna could get there. And then he runs away with it. Speaking of Cookies, he's in some trouble. The Rocket Barrage coming out right there. Affiliate Minions. There's the ultimate on top of that. Fade the defensive master's call. But the ultimate from Chipper, the Saw Blade Showdown, just too much right there.
I'm pretty sure Cookies actually didn't realize where he was stepping there. Because I don't know if you noticed, he literally walked right up to... Okay, there you go, disconnect. Okay.
Yeah.
So, he literally walked right up to that, and I was like, that's not Cookies. That's no way. So...
Apparently getting the DC. Unfortunate right there.
I don't know about real. I mean, yeah, the lag is painful, but what Cookies was talking about there was actually like a total disconnect where he wasn't having control of his hero, just like walking deep into the,
A little bit different, yeah.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, counter kill or kill happening and a tower push on top of that. So that's, shit happens. Let's be, it does. And
it does.
It's something you just got to deal with from time to time. And well, that Pencil's taking advantage as they should. So big plays coming out from them. And now we see a little bit of a middle tower push. How about this build, by the way? Look at Mookie's here on Tempest. Not even upgrading the boots just yet when the Ring of Sorcery first, and now finishing a Tablet of Command. How do you like that?
Yeah, I was actually just discussing it over the portal key, and I said in light of the Pharaoh, pretty smart pickup, I think. As long as he goes into an Astrolabe, other defensive items next. So
definitely. Yeah, I apologize. I do remember you saying that.
Yeah.
Middle tower is actually getting obviously a little bit of pressure. Fade is here, but there is a revelation right nearby. Obviously, the Legion team spotted him, but they don't want to go unless they have the absolute best kill opportunity. So. Not going to go. Fade's still kind of wandering around. The reflection wearing off in 2 seconds, so won't have that. But team push. Astrolabe PO coming out from Ophelia. She does not have her ultimate, by the way. Oh, Palace screwed up. Going balls to the wall. Down goes Torturer right there. Quick burst. 2 for the tower. It will fall. Nice deny attempt coming out from President 23, but just not enough. So Pencils. This is a team snowball starting to come into effect right here. But this is their lineup, and it started with the Portico and Pebbles, and it is starting to work here, which is good for them.
Yeah, it's true, and they do have very nice follow-up. The other nice thing is they do sort of have these tormented souls to whittle down the Hellborn team before the Pebbles initiates. Once again, sort of providing a counter effect to the Master of Arms shield. Yeah, sure, Master of Arms can protect people, but if they're whittled down to 2/3 or 80% health before the Pebbles even goes in, it sort of mitigates that.
Mm-hmm. So, Hellborn team, again, the items where you talked a little bit about Tempest, but other than him, as you mentioned, the level 1 Codex still obviously on Fade. Nope, that's just an illusion chipper right there, and so is this other one. The real one's at the tower. He may actually go all the way down there. Torturer, level 7 right now, is actually coming as well for the assistance. Chipper, though, throwing out a rocket. Of course, he wouldn't be able to see him, but he is going to pour it out as feeling that something just wasn't right. So he falls back. Fade going to go in here still. Obviously, they don't know that he poured it out, but as you can see on the minimap, nothing Cookies will be able to find right here. And good job of just keeping in mind about that Fade, of course, as just trying to enhance their farm all across the board. Chipper, what did he buy? Did he? Okay, yeah, I guess it looks like he just upgraded his boots and actually got the Mystic Vestments on top of that. He had like 1,500 gold saved up, so. But upgrading the smaller items, that's where you got to start, of course. And working his way from there, so.
I've got to say, I think in a game like this, I would have actually rather seen the focus buffer leveled up instead of the Tartos. I feel like the burst gank is going to come out of the Pebbles, killing one hero at the start of the fight, maybe a couple rockets to assist if needed, but that's sort of all long range. And then I think the most important thing is just having that overwhelming heal with Ophelia, maybe with the focus buffer to prevent the follow-up kills and sort of win that 5v4 fight. So it's okay, it still works, but actually this is one of those games where I've actually would rather seen the defensive use of Chipper coming out instead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I agree with you. I mean, that focus buffer is a very powerful tool. The level 4, the 500 magic damage absorption, and it's something that in theory you can kind of upkeep. That's a 20-second cooldown, and it lasts 20 seconds. So
yeah, and low mana cost too.
Exactly, great initiation tool.
Giant range as well.
Yeah, very good range. Yeah. So yeah, very very useful tool. Will start leveling it up, of course, as he starts leveling up himself. But yeah, you could argue maybe should have had it already. But anyways, this top tower, it's going to be pushed. Nothing that the Hellborn team's going to do to stop that. So the snowball effect of this team here from Pencils is continuing to work out pretty damn well. The gold lead is even now slightly in their favor. The experience lead still about 3,000, of course, for AL. When you are grouping up and pushing, obviously that tends to happen. Bottom lane, though, Faye might be in some trouble. Here we go. Pebbles. Oh, the quick reaction from Cookies, though. Beautiful reaction with the invis just before Pebbles went in, and he will survive. Man, that was quick.
We see, Cookies is a sign of a very, very powerful player. He's actually going in on the Chipper here in middle. Chipper does have the vestments, though, man. I don't know. Oh, he's got the follow-up from Bubbles.
Yep, and there was support nearby from Ophelia and Aluna, but obviously they can't just jump over the ledge. Ain't no porta-keys on them. So it worked out very well for Cookies right there. And speaking of his team support, they're going to push a little bit, but no, not going to push too much in the end, and they will start to fall back. So yeah, Cookies not only making the great reaction at the bottom, but it also sets up a kill for him in the middle lane.
Yeah. Chipper definitely not having a great game.
Yeah. Again, Relo altogether.
Just today, not his day. I was thinking one other thing that would really benefit the Ophelia push team about that shield is one really cool thing you can do with the focus buffer as well, because it has that 20-second duration and the 20-second cooldown. If you sort of wait until maybe there's like 5-6 seconds left on that shield before you initiate with, say, your Pebbles, that means, okay, say they counter on it, that means you'll have a second shield in the middle of the fight as well.
Yeah.
So that could be a very powerful way to use it too, but moving on.
That's an interesting look at that. But speaking of Chipper, actually, of course, again, recently Xibe is the one that's been standing up with a one-trick pony playing this. He does like to go that Staff of the Master. Do you feel that Staff of the Master is kind of a core on Chipper?
Yeah, but I wouldn't always core. No, great item pickup. Yes, I mean items like a Hellflower and Portal Key definitely to be argued for as well.
So you would prefer to then see a Portal Key here in this case?
In a game like this where they sort of have a defensive wall, maybe not so because they already have the Pebbles to jump in. I was just saying, I don't think Staff of the Master is the absolute core item to necessarily go.
Gotcha.
I guess more so, but yeah, in a game like this, I would say it's fine because they're sort of like Pebbles is the one that's going to initiate, Pharaoh for the follow-up, and they have that sort of defensive wall behind it.
Yeah,
I think it's okay in that case. If they were needing him to make that jump with another hero to get kills, then sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think you also talked about this too, where the synergy of Pharaoh and Chipper specifically, the Mummy Wall, you know, catching 1 or 2 heroes in it, it easily lines up the rockets and that Chainsaw Showdown. Wow, Saw Blade Showdown coming up from Chipper. So.
Well, that's a combo we've seen a lot over the years here in HoN. I think back in 2010 it was popular too. So
yeah, I definitely do remember it. From the past. Cookie is coming in flank right here. They don't have any sight. I don't believe that. Pebbles doesn't want to wait. He jumps in, gets the quick pick on the Master of Arms. Bubbles away to business as well. And here we go. Kelf going to be coming the Song of the Sea. The quick burst onto Luna. So 1-for-1 exchange. But now the reaction for the Legion team. Pebbles did, or Master of Arms did by back, by the way. Tempest gets the ultimate. No, but he's going to be killed shortly after. Ophelia getting bursted down. He will fall too. Torture doing plenty of damage right here with that impalement. Chasing them down. Chipper trying to turn to the Rocket Barrage coming out. But the Burning Shadow's done. In comes the Stalagmites from Pebbles though. Trying to make something happen. Get his team away. Bubbles jumping in the front lines. Bubbles is barely alive. Pebbles will fall in the background. President 23, yes, he will fall in the end. But it seems like Absolute Legends actually is in the better spot right now. Pharaoh's going to get caught out. He gets the kill on a fade. And he takes out Master of Arms. The Barbed Armor doing work right there for Pablo McDad. And he is now going to chase Torturer with Chipper. Not much mana though. Patho hits. Oh, can they get the global presence? The Tormented Soul will hit as well. They'll feel it. No, those are the neutral minions. Those are Ophelia's for a
he's
second.
going for it still. He's got the
barbed
barbed armor, man.
Yes!
Oh, man.
Oh, the barbed armor. The #1
man.
pickup in this game so far.
Pablo making plays to save the team, and
Barbed
damn,
armor
what
so
a fight.
much that fight.
Yeah.
At the very, I thought for sure he was dead, but then all of a sudden, Fade and I think it was Bubbles just fall to him. I mean,
two things irked me about that fight, man, and that's 3 things. Aluna got a little bit too far positioning-wise when they killed the Pebbles. Ophelia didn't get the heal off in time to try to save the Aluna, though she may have dropped anyway. And then if the Chipper had the shield, the Aluna wouldn't have dropped, and the Hellborn team would have wasted a lot diving into her. So, and the oil wasn't used to kill the Master. So once again, I feel like their team has so much potential. It's just like, oh, look at Fate here, though.
Yeah, he's trying to find somebody. The courier runs right by, but of course he's invis. There is a revelation right here. I don't know if it'll spot Fade. I believe it did for Pebbles, but he cannot react in time. He is going to be jumped. The Codex coming out. In comes any support. Nachi said nice Stalagmites, but no. The Kelfio catches. He's uphill. The support's still not here. And Sweet Pro will fall. I mean, they just couldn't get there in time. Ophelia heal obviously not up. And they were still resurrecting and whatnot. So Pebbles gets picked. The power of Fade for you. As it is level 2 Codex, by the way. So he is choosing to level it up once again, at least for the level 2. This is where he went to Portkey last game. So again, kind of curious if he actually does go to Portkey now, instead of continuing to level it up here.
Right, and we talked about the mobility more so than anything. So yeah, we'll see.
Man, that was
I'm actually going for the Mighty Blade route instead of the helm, instead of the hood.
Yeah, so going to be going to Shrunken Head here even, which actually seems kind of odd.
Yeah, they definitely have a magic damage heavy team on Hellborn, so maybe opting for that. I've seen it before, but yeah, down Pebbles.
What was Chipper thinking right there? He will get a Feral follow-up after he's dead, though. In comes a Barbed Armor. Defensive Master's Call used. Already wearing off, though, but Bubbles gets tabbed out. Barely staying alive for now. The Tormented Soul will hit, though. And yes, they will kill Bubbles. In comes Torture with the Impalement. The Chain Reaction is going to land. The Burning Shadows and the Coal on top of that. They finish him off. Pebbles out jumps an awkward spot, but a perfect Stalagmite right there. Torture barely surviving. Master of Arms will die as Torture does get away, but damn, that was a huge Stalagmite stun as 3 heroes all got caught. Can they actually finish off Torture maybe with that global presence? No, the power though just not there. It wasn't a red. Pharaoh's obviously dead for another 37 seconds. Tempest though in some trouble. There goes Ophelia, the combination from Pebbles. And yes, the staggering of the stuns is effective to take out Tempest. Boy, oh boy, Emperor, is this action picking up. 18 to 16 hero kills all of a sudden.
Yeah, maybe a tactical bait there by Riolo, but it turned out working in their favor. Pharaoh with the excellent follow-up. I thought Pebbles was going to get there way too late. That fight was going on. AL looked so strong. They were about to back up, and then right when everything seemed like, okay, let's go home. Perfect fight. Let's just regather. That came in Pebbles. 3-man stun, 3-man chuck, and yeah, nice turnaround.
Yeah, barrier auto finish on Ophelia, so going mass team support, as Ophelia's usually do. The Astrolabe, the Barrier Idol, that Sacrificial Stone, of course. Looking pretty good, although Cookies, once again, he's striding in like a boss,
Sure.
opening with a level 4 Codex right here. Ophelia's pretty damn tanky, though. Pharaoh comes in. Ophelia's still alive. There's the Astrolabe Peel. There's the Barrier Idol. And now Fade's on the run. Barbed Armor going up, obviously, but Fade is just running away, as you smartly should do. And she will be fine. But how about that? Even with a level 4 Codex, Ophelia tanks the damage.
I think I missed exactly there. How did the Fade get out of the Mummy Walls?
Tablet, I'm pretty sure.
Tablet?
From
Tempest was there. Okay.
Yeah, I think somebody was there with
Tempest.
the tablet, yeah.
Tempest. I was looking, I was like, Master doesn't have one, and then I was like, oh yeah, Tempest was there.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, Cookies is leveling up that Codex, and I don't know about that. Seems a little. Again, there are more benefits than just the damage, as we mentioned last game, but.
It's true, and he is putting it to use. He's getting a lot of those pickoffs. He's obviously 9, 3, and 5. It's once again trying to puncture that Ophelia heal with the Codex, trying to make it so that his usefulness doesn't sort of get tapered down by the fact that they have so much counter heal. So.
True. He's continuing to stride around, as obviously a Fate should do. With his ultimate activated, not finding anyone right now, though, because as you see on your mini-map, the Legion team kind of grouped up here in the middle lane. Are going to now be joined by Pebbles, who's still sitting on the Mighty Blade, 1,200 gold saved up, 2,500 gold on Pharaoh. And again, going back to that pickup possibility on him, it's more so odd for me, especially with that Barbed Armor pickup, how the last thing you want to do is mitigate damage if you have a Barbed Armor, because kind of the point of that is you want to return more damage, so... obviously if he doesn't stagger. But anyways, Pebbles going to come in. A great stalagmite once again. Takes out Master of Arts. A Rocket Barrage finishing off Bubbles. Fade porting in, but Pharaoh is just too much of a presence up there. The Illusion Bubbles. Great jump from Sweet Pro, though, from Pebbles.
Yeah, we talked about it before. The power of Ophelia in these strats where you have a point hero like Pebbles. Really powerful follow-up as well in Pharaoh and Chipper to make sure they not only have one hero down, they're also going to get a follow-up on those heroes that are trying to flee. Really powerful, especially with the Pharaoh Chipper combination in particular, and the Chipper power, the defensive power once again with the Ophelia. So, I mean, it's a strat we used to see Fnatic run a lot with the Pebbles and Deadwood sort of, and an Ophelia, maybe an Enforce support, but they used to run a very similar style. And
yeah. Oh, geez, Torture getting picked off down here. His tablet's away though, so he will be fine. As that's the good news for him. But yeah, Pencils is just keeping up the aggression all of a sudden. And actually, you look more back at AL's lineup. Honestly, I've been sitting here just thinking that Master of Arms was once again the focus. But yeah, no, he was the pure support for this team.
Yeah.
Torture is the one that they've been trying to get the farm on and everything. And King Plato's farm not that great. It's 265 gold per minute, and he isn't your hard carry necessarily. Granted, in this game.
It's a staff of the Master.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, when we see Shrunken, it's usually you see Staff and Shrunken. You don't see the Barbed, and no, that was obvious. Okay.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's actually solid.
It's very good. I mean, look, it's a 20-second cooldown now. So I mean, on top of the use of the other ability. So.
Yeah, just really, I feel like the objective AL was trying to put out there. With their team, but was more in controlling that mid game with all the magic damage. Now that they have all the defensive capabilities, they're scaling just fine to the late game. I think Shrunken up here on Pebbles. The Barbed Armor on Pharaoh obviously just proved to be a nightmare for AL as well this game. So it's getting to the point where the game is kind of even between the golden experience here, not too much either way. But I see the game as heavily slanted actually in Pencil's favor.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Again, kind of going what I was talking about there, how you have a Torture you're trying to build as your farm, as your carry really in this game. And granted, he can be pretty effective at that, and more so in this game especially, because obviously you look at the Legion side. I mean, they're not necessarily dealing with any right-click carries over here. And a Silhouette or something like that. So sure they have an Aluna, but obviously she too is really just that ward bitch support, similar to the Master of Arms. So I think that's the big saving grace right now for Absolute Legends. But nonetheless, I 100% agree with you. It feels that Pencils they've just been ever since the snowball's been rolling. They haven't stopped just yet for the last maybe 10 minutes now. And although the goal lead isn't by any means getting taken off, in fact the experience lead is still 3,700 in favor of Absolute Legends.
Yep.
Just because Pencil is grouping up as a team now.
It's at the point here where Pebbles is able to blink stun combo someone. No matter who it is, they have enough safe follow-up damage between Aluna and Chipper that I don't think Hellborn can win the fight if that happens. If Tempest tries to land a big ulti, you have Pharaoh sitting there waiting. it's just a really powerful lineup that they have against what AL is trying to run. So
Yeah.
all Pebbles needs to do is blink combo.
Oh, there is feedback here, but a Revelation is down. They do initiate, though, with Pebbles in the foreground. Fade is still behind. They see Fade. They are going to open with Feral. Meanwhile, up here, Kelfield coming out. Pebbles falling back, but Cookies will just get absolutely destroyed. Tempest holding him, pulling them in. Pebbles getting locked down, but no, Feral will fall with the Wrath of Feral on Tempest right there. And now Tempest one in trouble. Cookies cannot buy back. Tempest falls. Torture being dropped. Now tabbeting away, barely staying alive. Bubbles gets comboed, though. At least Stalagmite from Pebbles. The Mummy Walls go up. Down he goes. Torment itself nearly kills Torture actually in the well. But this is going to be a tower push. The Rax should very likely fall on top of this. And Pencils lead all of a sudden, just growing big time here. You look at the gold jumping up to about 10,000 gold lead. And now the experience is uncomfortable in their favor. I mean, that was kind of an awkward initiation because the initiation wasn't the best, honestly, from Pebbles. Not working out the greatest, but they got Fade in the background. That was the biggest deal, of course.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge deal, obviously, for the fight. And then, once again, it doesn't even have to be the Grace initiation. I think composition versus composition, they're just that strong versus what AL is trying to accomplish that, yeah, I mean, they can be sloppy about these fights, and they still should come out ahead as long as Pebbles is able to stun something. So...
Yeah. So, looking once again pretty good here for Pencils. Obviously, Feral sitting on the staff of the Master, again having a 20-second Wrath of the Feral cooldown, pretty big. Cookie is going to continue to try to do what he does best, obviously on Fade here, especially with that level, well, no, still level 4 Codex, actually. Assumed it would have been level 5 by now, but, may find a Luna, actually, if, there we go, Red Power Throw coming out. Yes, we'll jump a Luna. There's the Pew Pew Codex, and down goes a Luna. So, Cookie's getting a kill, and jetting on out of there, so at least once again making something happen for Absolute Legends. But AL in a case of just buying more and more time here and trying to get pick-offs himself, especially with that Fade. But look at this, a level 16 Pebbles, and he is Invis here in the middle lane. He has a Soul's Bulwark now. He's thinking about jumping this Fade, but...
Yeah, no. If I was Legion, honestly, on every single hero, I would just buy a ton of HP. I don't think they need anything else. I would just buy a ton of life, make sure you just can't get dropped or bursted down. And in a sustained fight, they're going to come out ahead every single time. I wouldn't even really worry about utility items or anything like that. Just get HP, and there's nothing Hellborn can do against you. So, yeah, you see the Glowstone being picked up by Relo. Nice step. I mean, you got Bulwark and Pebbles. Bulwark's never bad. From here, just tank up on everybody, and it's fine. I mean, okay, bring in the teacher. I don't know. I'd tank up a little bit more on a Luna there. It's on everyone. They won't be able to do a thing to you.
Yeah. I mean, Fade, she's spotting people out here, but again, she's just not too comfortable on really jumping anyone other than maybe that Aluna, and if she's absolutely by herself. But yeah, you're right, kind of the logic of you just tank up on the life, and you'll be fine, because the damage output by all means is there, as we've kind of seen throughout this game now. So, and it's Chipper, with that Glowstone pickup, so assume now that's going to be a Staff of the Master in the making, with the Portal Key obviously on top of that. So here we go. Pencil's going to just keep this snowball effect going now at the top lane. Again, it's can AL stop this? This is really, it's one thing to be down, one set of Rex, obviously, but then two is where it just gets ridiculous. So
yeah,
this is going to be big here in this game.
Yeah, their only source of sustained damage in these fights is Torture, and it's a nightmare for him with this Pharaoh with barbed armor right now.
Focus buffer, level 3 now on Chipper, so mitigating 375 magic damage here. So plenty reduction coming off that. It seems like he's just spamming on himself, really. Going into these fights, they place a Ward of Sight in the uphill. The creep wave comes in. No barrier idle use, though. Or actually, it is on cooldown. That makes sense.
I was going to say, strength boots Chipper, please, right now. He's got him on, though.
That makes sense. So yeah, probably going to wait for the next barrier idle use right here, then maybe make to look a go-ahead. Although, Absolute Legends, man, they are far back. And in fact, there we go. Pebble says he found the timing. Master of Arms going to be dropped right there. In comes a Saw Blade Showdown, and it just tears apart Master of Arms. He couldn't even get anything off.
Yeah, it didn't even matter that the Relo whiffed all 3 rockets onto the stun target there.
He was threatening.
Obviously, it doesn't matter. They still have the defensive wall put up, and
here he goes again. Torture the target of choice this time. In jumps Chipper. The Shuriken's going to go off. The Tempest holding him in the background actually, but there's a Feral reaction. They'll feel the heals coming out, and now Fade's on the run. So again, the damage done. Torture falls. GG well plays are being called here. Can't blame them. It looks like Pencils will take game number 2. And guess what? Obviously that means we are going to a third and final game now in this series of Pencils taking on Absolute Legends. And once again, that game two especially. Talk about aggressive play, man. I mean, that was all over the place there in that game.
Yeah, both games now, man. A lot of aggression coming out. Cookie's playing that Codex Fate both games. Unfortunately, not really able to put it together this game. Just didn't have the same, they had a lot more protective ability here on Pencil's team. They had a team that was able to get down and dirty a lot earlier as well. So, yeah, it paid off.
It's fun to watch. It really was. It's a very fun game to watch, and hopefully you guys at home were entertained. And, well, again, we got a Game 3 coming up, so expect some more action to continue. I don't want to take too much time here, so really we should just look to jump into the break. By the way, I do have a quick update for you guys going into the break. TDM did win the second game, it looks like, in their series, so that is now tied at 1 game apiece, and I believe they should be at least starting Game 3 shortly. And Team Mist defeated OTP 2-0 there as well. Rough. So I know a lot of people obviously intrigued by that, especially with Trofmodor playing for OTP now. Mistral did take out One Trick Pony. So, anyways, there's more updates. Again, go to HoNtour.com, the events tab. You can check it out for yourself. But we are going to take a short break here once again. We have game number 3, though. Absolute Legends taking on Pencils here. And what's going to be an awesome finish, of course. So stay tuned, guys. Game 3 coming up next.